My name is Murray Eisenwasser. I guess I should go to the next slide. It has my picture on it. That's me. There we are. I'm Oz's Chief AI Evangelist and Strategic Client Advisor. I'll be your, I guess, the entertainment this morning and throughout the day. We have an incredibly, jam-packed agenda that I'll talk about in a few minutes. But I want to kind of expand a little bit on some of the things that Steph was saying about why this year feels different and what we're seeing from our clients and talking with people around the room. Some people are saying we have hundreds of things we want to get implemented, or one of the organizations here, the CIO literally told his entire team, you need to go to this today, and 17 of them registered. So it's becoming different. It's different than when we did this last time, which was about in October of this past year, and in January we did 2 workshops. We have a third one coming up in March or April around the Microsoft tool set and platforms. The maturation, every time we do one of these workshops, we need to redo them because of how quickly everything is working. And I think organizations are finally ready to start implementing some of these solutions based on AI. And so I believe that this is the year that AI moves from pilots to production. And we're going to be talking with some of our clients during the course of the day about what we did to help them make that transition. And the evidence is kind of overwhelming when you dig into it. 282% increase in full AI implementation. 89% of CIOs are increasing AI spending. Productivity growth in AI adopting industries is well above the average. Those that are implementing it, like I said, like that 5% in that McKinsey study, are actually seeing a really high ROI on these tools. And the gap between the leaders and the laggards is widening rapidly. Industry by industry, some industries are a little bit behind, some industries are a little bit ahead. Financial services definitely leading. Implementing enterprise level AI. Retail and consumer is scaling up. Manufacturing, maybe a little more cautious. I think there's a lot of opportunities there with supply chains and logistics to do a lot of really interesting things. Healthcare is kind of splitting. From the clinical side, it's experimenting, but from the admin side, it's expanding. Travel and hospitality is investing heavily in AI, and government is definitely accelerating across the world. We'll have some examples. So what's at stake? Organizations that delay. Could you imagine being in the year 2002 or 2003 or 2005 and not having implemented any internet solutions in your companies? Well, that's where we are now, right? Things are accelerating so fast. If you're not doing this, you're already getting behind, right? Platform vendors are embedding AI natively. 4 years ago, they were talking about all the AI they had in their platforms. That was more, vaporware. Back in the day when I started my career, we used to say, the only platform that runs on is an overhead projector, right? But now those of you who are laughing are, of a certain age, let's put it that way. Those of you who aren't, we can talk about it later. But what we're seeing is true embedding of AI tools in all of the platforms that we're using, right? From all of the major vendors. And just customer expectations are rising. We don't want to see that ad that we don't want to see. We want to get the answer, even more so now when we want to get the answer, and it better be the right answer, and it better sound like a human. Right? Our expectations as a customer, as a consumer, have shifted over the past year and a half. Are you all experiencing this? Right? Yes? No? This isn't going to work if you guys don't respond to the question you need to answer today. All right. So what does real AI actually mean? It means that it's embedded in workflows, right? It's part of the workflow. It's not, when we first started talking about AI, it was like, okay, we can just give this whole process over to an AI bot that's going to do it for us. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. It needs to be part of the workflow. There still needs to be humans involved. There still needs to be human in the loop as part of it. The outcomes need to be owned by the business, right? The results need to be, it says measurable. I know I created that slide. Somewhat measurable, right? Because there's things that you can't measure. You just can see that it's more productive. When I lead our strategy team. When I work with a client, I always would do this massive report for them about their industry and whatever the technologies were that we were talking about, 50, 60, 70 pages. It would take me and my team 2 weeks to do. We're now doing it in a day, right? Like, how do you actually measure that? Aside from knowing that it used to take us this long and it's now taking us this long, right? Like, I can't put an ROI on that. It needs to be governable, and we're going to have a great presentation from Tim Shields a little later, who is a partner at Kelly Cronenberg, a good friend of mine. And we're going to talk about AI governance from a legal perspective, which few of us in this room are actually thinking about, especially as we are more on the technology side. But there's a legal implication to everything that we're doing when we're implementing AI that we need to be aware of. It's all about that human AI collaboration. So from our perspective, this is what real AI actually means. Now, does this look familiar to anyone? No? Does it?
Yes.
What does it look like?
It looks like, well, I mean, what do you mean first it looks like?
Well, what is it? It looks like.
Whatever technology you can
There you go. It looks like what we should have been doing all along.
It's the same model you had for years, whether it be RPA, going to the web. This is taking the same framework and just augmenting it to the next generation technology. We've done it before.
Yeah.
Now we're just shifting gears to the right again.
Exactly. Right? It's
I
not
was
about
paid to say that.
No. That's right. It's not about implementing AI. It's about incorporating AI into the business, about understanding what we're trying to achieve, and then using the most appropriate tool set to achieve those goals. Being able to make something we should have been doing all along, right? Technology. There's no difference here. Thank you.
Sure.
And thank you. Thank you. All right. So what's at stake? Organizations that delay. Your competitors are gaining knowledge that you're not. Platform vendors who embed AI natively are making migration away from those platforms more costly. So, organizations that have software and platforms, by embedding these processes in their platforms, it's going to be harder for people to leave. Talent acquisition. Imagine a new hire coming out of university with a sought-after degree, looking at two organizations, because in this world, we get, as organizations, we're interviewed also. We're not just interviewing them. Could you imagine two organizations, and one says, we don't believe in AI, and one says, oh, we're embedding it in everything we do. Your entire job is going to be using AI to get better productivity. Which organization is that person going to choose? I'm a little bit at the other end of the spectrum in terms of my career. There's no doubt which one I would choose, right? And we've embraced AI as part of our organization. Myself and Jason, right back there. Jason, raise your hand, who's our CTO. We're the two people responsible for turning Oz into an AI-enabled organization. We fully believe in this. And customer expectations are rising all the time. And if you're not doing this, your capabilities compared to your competitors are going to stagnate. All right. At scale, like I said, that 5%, if you look for them, there's organizations across the globe that are implementing real AI solutions that are delivering measurable results. I'm not going to go through them, but all of the tools that they're using are available to every organization of any size. All right, patterns that we've seen for success. clear ROI metrics. ROI is again a strong word. Clear productivity metrics maybe, of which ROI is a piece. Definitely human and AI collaboration, human in the loop. Data foundation first, where's Sal? Sal been leading our data practice. It is all about good data. That's what you got to take care of first. Hopefully, over the years, your organizations have. And it's creating a pathway from going from a pilot to production. And Jason, I think one of the case studies is how we helped was that one of the case studies that we're presenting? How we helped one of our clients who had created pilots that were getting tremendous results to create the environments for them to move it to production. And they're in the room, they can identify themselves if they like. All right? So we need to break the cycle of just doing AI pilots, treating it as an IT project as opposed to a business. We need to, instead of measuring activity, right, which historically, honestly, that's what we were doing also when we first started this transition. I would get reports every month about who was using it, when was the last time they used the tools, what tools they were using. We're now moving more to looking at outcomes. What are the results of us doing this? As we reconfigure our organization, experimentation should lead naturally to scale. Governance, which is 5 times. Something you all should be looking at, and we'll talk about that later when Tim and I have a conversation. And we have to break this, he's talking about, ghost IT, right? Ghost AI across the organization. I'm talking with some organizations, and it's like, yeah, we have 62 departments, 60 of them have implemented something. Yeah, that doesn't work anymore, right? Very hard to manage. All right, the new one is a joint CIO business partnership, data unification, investing in data, because that is the foundation, especially as the organization size increases. Governance frameworks with the ability to enforce that governance, change management, getting people to understand what this new type of role is going to be, how their jobs are going to be affected, moving AI from innovation budgets to operational budgets, and concentrating resources from our perspective, continuing to do experiments, but instead of trying to do 100 things, pick 3 to 5 in the organization and really ramp those up. Right? And we have models that we use with our clients to help them pick which 3 to 5 they should be focusing on. One I think I created, so it's a little bit larger. It's 262 different questions. It's probably a little overkill. All right. So what I would like you all to do is, this is the interactive part. Hopefully this will work. If you can scan that, answer the 1 question survey. Did everyone get a chance to scan that? Everyone get it in? Alright, let's see where we are. I can't close this now. I swear this was working yesterday when I tested it. There we go. There we go. What it should be showing is the results. I'll come back to it, we'll show it later. But basically, well, we'll see what they are later. All right, so. But it worked like a dream when we were testing it.
If you go to responses on the top left,
Yes, you said response.
it's 44, 45. Next to question, top left.
Yeah, it's not letting me click on anything. That's the problem. Probably because we're within the team. All right, so the time to act is now. It's not a prediction, it's the inflection point, 2026. And the question isn't whether AI becomes real, the question is whether your organization will be ready.